Yo, what is going on, everyone? It is Memory here. We are here for more of that slime greatness. This being the 7th episode of the 2nd season, or episode 31 overall. And things right now, not looking good to say the least, right? We saw obviously with Rimuru and Hinata at the end of the previous episode, which I'm assuming we'll see like what happened actually, after Rimuru used gluttony or whatever. But that was a crazy way to leave off the episode. But then obviously like just what's happening with Tempest right now in general. Like we heard a lot of people being slashed down. We saw like Tempest on fire, and they didn't really show us much, but I'm assuming with this episode we'll probably see like the aftermath or something. I'm not ready for that to see, because it sounded and it looked bad. It really did. And we'll see what we have with this episode. I'm kind of nervous, honestly, just to see what we're gonna have with it. I was saying, Rimuru is obviously not dead. We saw Rimuru use gluttony at the end of the previous episode. I guess we'll see what happens after that. So yeah, guys, we're gonna get into this episode. Here we go. It was like bam, end of the episode right there. Okay, they cut to the OP right there. So we're still gonna have to wait a little bit to see what happened. What is happening? Despair. Oh shit. Okay. Holy, what the fuck? Astral bind. Bro, what the hell? Just broke right out of that. Oh, she pulling out a bunch of stuff. Hinata's showing us a bunch of shit. I thought this shit with like Geld and all that was like kind of freaky. Like, you guys remember? Like, but this is like freakier on a different level. Yo, she really showing us a bunch of shit, isn't she? Like, we're seeing a bunch from her. Wow. Wow. Bro, this is some next level shit. So I'm like, that can't be the end of Rimuru, right? Like, that can't be it. Yeah, I wouldn't be so sure about that. But dude, here's the thing. I think they might be panned into... We'll see, but give me 1 second. Because this is something with the previous episode. I actually forgot to mention this before we got into the video. Is this like Hinata and how, like, obviously what she's showing here and what she's doing here. Like, so far to this point, for the most part, Now, I know there's like the Demon Lords and there's like, like, it's not even just the Demon Lords. There's lots of other really, really strong things out here in the world of TenSura, But so far, like, at least with Rimuru, we've saw like how easy it's been for Rimuru, right? So I guess this right here is a pivotal point, I would say, for me, because it's like, okay, it finally puts it into perspective. Like, it's not always gonna be that easy for Rimuru, because I would say most of the time it's been pretty damn easy for Rimuru, but this is kind of putting it now in a different light that, okay, it's not gonna be that easy. Now, it may, like, I feel like it could potentially reach a point, like, as we get further and further on with the series, where Rimuru even becomes more OP, and then maybe there won't be anything fucking with Rimuru. But at least right now, like, there's still a lot of people, a lot of things out there where it's like, okay, this is actually on another level, even in comparison to Rimuru. I knew it. Like, right, there was no way that was it. Be careful now. We kind of just went through a lot right there. That's Rimuru saying that. I really thought I was in trouble. This is where she dodged it, right? She dodged it right here. Ifrit didn't even do anything, but this was maybe all a part of the plan. It was all a part of the plan to dip out of there. So Ifrit really was just like a distraction, kind of. Yeah, even without the barrier, I might have lost. Well, apparently y'all were saying that definitely Rimuru would have lost. Rimuru was saying maybe, but yeah, this shit was crazy. That's what I was saying too a lot in the previous episode. Won't even hear Rimuru out. Like, there was no talking at all, no getting to her. Yeah, okay, sure. Specified destination not found. Okay, I was like, wait, they did this, like, wipe Tempest off the map? And Soe looking like this, like, I don't even want to see the others. Like, the others are... I'm worried as hell too, just based off of what we saw or even heard in the previous episode. The way he stretched that out. Okay, so they're not the same. I think that was something that I was questioning. Yeah, so there was Mulan and then Falmouth, the barrier that they like put up. Okay, so yeah, this is why I was wondering, like, is everything already gonna be pretty bad by the time Rimuru gets here, like the aftermath, and that's really gonna piss Rimuru off, and rightfully so. Yeah. the sliding kneel pray though. I think it's a lot worse than even what it seems like right here. You can't lie to Rimuru or hide from Rimuru, especially when Rimuru being like this. Like, this is serious. Yeah. I think you have, my boy. Okay, well. Damn. Jeez. I know that's not what your intention was. Yeah, I know that's... Yom would never do that. Is that what they've been keeping all secret, was this horrific scene that we probably heard and saw a little bit of it in the previous episode, but they haven't fully showed it yet. And this is what I'm like been really nervous to see and scared to see. Oh my god. Don't tell me they're all dead. Bro. My god. This is like a big wake-up call, isn't it? Falmouth, right? This is something I was talking about in the previous episode, how there's like an informant. We know this informant. We know the informant is like an otherworlder or something, right? So I was thinking, like, there's only so many otherworlders, you know, that you can pick from or choose from. Like, there's the kids. I don't think it's any of the kids. There's like those three we know, like, that are with Falmouth, but they're not really with Falmouth. They kind of have like their own agenda or whatever. And then there's like the headmaster. Now I know there are otherworlders, but the headmaster has spent a lot of time around Rimuru because of Rimuru like teaching the kids and all that. So that was like my main suspect. I think we might need some like restructuring of maybe like the rules or like the, because maybe they're too, like I said before, like maybe they're too lenient. Hakuro, Shion, Gobta. Alright, so first off, this might be kind of weird because it's like breaking the fourth wall a little bit, because I'm literally like mid-editing right now, and y'all notice how I pointed out like Shion, like, right? Like I thought they were gonna bring up Shion. They didn't even bring up Shion. Now, I don't know. I might be reading into this a little too much or looking into it, but they bring up Hakuro, they bring up Gobta. They did not bring up Shion though. So what the hell is up with that? Are they trying to keep more secrets like from us in this? Like, is that really what they're trying to do right now? Because if Shion's like dead or like in critical condition, like I was assuming she was, it sounded like she got slashed in the previous episode. They didn't even touch on that in this episode or talk about Shion at all. I'm fucking scared, dude. We will return 1 week from today. Bullshit. Bullshit. Yeah, oh, we'll see about that, dude. That ain't happening. Yep, that's what it's been. And now Tempest is threatening that. And with how greedy they are, from what we've learned, that's a huge problem for them. This is making this go kind of reevaluate a lot of things and go back to the drawing board. Clayman. There we go. There we go. So there's like the Western Church, there's Falmouth, there's Clayman. I mean, it's like, oh yeah, this motherfucker, dude. You're saying he's pulling the strings behind everything, like the Western Church, Falmouth, all of that? His fiend, though, dude. This episode, like when Rimuru first got back to Tempest, I was like, okay, it doesn't really look like, I mean, it looked bad, but it did not look as bad as like I was thinking based off of what we like heard and saw in the previous episode, like very briefly, you know. But then it's like, okay, they were trying to hide that or kind of keep that away. At first, I thought it was like maybe like Mulan because of like Yom protecting her and like all of that, and the other dude. But no, it was like all the goblins that we saw that were literally killed, that were slaughtered, and obviously very upsetting Rimuru to Rimuru, very, and even pissed Rimuru off as well. Like a mix of emotions there. But then Rimuru, like as a leader, like Rimuru reminding himself that like, okay, calm down, like I gotta be like the leader here. I'm who everyone's looking at right now. I gotta calm down and readdress the situation and make the necessary measures essentially going forward, which this is something that I feel like it's gonna obviously we gotta rebuild. We're gonna have to rebuild a bit of Tempest, but then we also have to worry about another attack that's coming. So there's that. But it's like after this whole thing, I feel like maybe Tempest will not be as lenient necessarily. And it doesn't even have to be to humans. It could be just to other beings as well or whatever. I feel like we may have to go back to the drawing board, may have to reevaluate and maybe restructure how Tempest is ran in terms of that. Just like no attacking humans and other things. So we'll see what happens with that. But very, very devastating. We haven't saw something like this really happen to Tempest itself. Kind of like a wake-up call. Like honestly, that's how I would put it as well. And not even just for Tempest, but like I was saying before with Rimuru and like Hinata and a lot of these like the demon lords and whatever else it's a wake-up call, right? That it's not always going to be this easy for Rimuru, and there's plenty of other stronger things out there. And it's kind of scary. It's kind of fascinating too at the same time, I have to say. But Tempest has a big target on them right now. So, and if Clayman's been the one, like I thought maybe Clayman was just another player in this, right? But Rimuru thinks that Clayman's been pulling the strings on all of this, like the Western Church potentially and Falmouth. I guess that's what it sounded like to me, like how Rimuru was breaking it down. But yeah, pretty tense episode. That would be the best way I would describe it. We had like that display. She was just showing a lot of shit off at the beginning of the episode. And either way, I was just like, there's no way Rimuru dies. Like, somehow Rimuru is going to get out of here or whatever the case may be. We saw Hinata, dispose of the Rimuru that really wasn't Rimuru. And she was like, okay, I've avenged Shizu. But then Rimuru is still alive, still there. So, they showed how that happened. So, yeah, I figured Rimuru was going to be all right, would not die. But still a lot to go. Still a lot that has to play out, obviously, going forward with Tempest and then with all these other players. So yeah, guys, let me know what you all thought of this episode of Slime. If you guys did enjoy my reaction to this one, make sure you drop a like, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you all in the next one. Thank you for watching. Peace out.